So this video is about ideas on how to interpret and to make sense of what really is a very simple melody. We're going to talk about how we can shape this piece when we're playing it. Obviously there's many ways to play it, as with everything, so it's really more of a guide of ideas and nothing is set in stone, so everyone should look for their own individuality when learning and performing this piece. So if we look at the first phrase, we can see we have this very simple melody. It's basically two 4-bar phrases which have a question and answer quality. So that's question, here's answer. This idea comes back several times in the piece, and each time it has the potential to be slightly different from the last. It can also be different within itself, so the answer and the question can relate to each other differently each time, if that makes sense. So for example, you could have and then an echo. Of course, it can also be the other way around. The use of taking time is also very possible in this piece, and it's definitely something you should do. However, it shouldn't be overdone, and sometimes after taking the time, it can go slightly forwards to make up for the previous time it's been taken. This is known as robbed time or borrowed time in classical music. The term is rubato. You don't need to know that, but still. So for example, at the end of the first 4-bar idea, you might do this. And then it will go forward here, and slow down again here. So it's a question of pulling and pushing to make up for time that's been taken. When you're learning the piece though, everything should really be at one speed, and then you can decide where to take time and how much can be taken. It can happen in moments of an answering phrase that are uncertain, like in a conversation. Someone says, maybe, I'm not sure. So the maybe, I'm not quite certain. Taking time. So after this main theme it develops, and less time should be taken here. The music can be left to speak for itself. Then you have these beautiful E minor arpeggios. And these should be calm and centered. And then soft and slightly forward in time before you come here, where you can wait for as long as you feel is necessary. So this is called a fermata. There's a sign above the note, sort of like a half moon with a dot in the middle. And that's where you will wait for as long as you like to create the atmosphere. Then the main theme comes back again. Now it's marked to be played quite loud, and this can have a more open sound, warm sound. Then here it's marked to slow down with these chromatic notes in the top part of the right hand. So here you can slow down. With these chromatic notes, I like to wait on one of them. So maybe you have a few options. You could do, or you could do, or even the third one's quite nice. So. And then you have this top note, which is quite long, so I like to pause before it and emphasize it and sustain it, whilst everything else is played very softly and in time. Going forward, and then the original tune comes back in a different key. So more sounds here, then every note of the right hand singing it out for this descending sequence. The last two notes here are emphasized, they're written to be emphasized, and then this top F sharp is quite nice to bring out. So we have in total, we have in this next kind of bridge passage, if you like, the right hand is to be played very softly, whilst the left hand has the melody. The right hand needs to be very soft but very even and very controlled. And now here, you're taking time again. It's telling you to slow down in the music. I like to slow down in two parts. So first we have slow down, and then back in tempo, and slow down again. So we have now the melody will come back again, but in split octaves. So it's a variant of what happened before. And with this answer, it's nice to take a lot of time. I take the liberty of taking lots of space here. So we can have very soft. And more sound for the top notes, for these chromatic notes, that means next to each other notes. And then less sound. And then more sound and go forward. Take a breath. And then you have this pattern, which you've had before, but because of these split octaves in this section, it's quite nice to do. It's up to you, I choose to do this. Again, those arpeggios in time, pianissimo, which means very soft. More sound, a breath, and dying away to nothingness. Wait. Now we have these lovely bass notes here. That's a low D, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, a low D. And then the right hand, you have this inner voice here in the thumb, which which relates directly to what happened before in the right hand. So here, look, and then it's quite beautiful to do that. And then one more time this comes back. You can play it a bit more, but it's kind of nicer to be more secretive. Again, this chromatic, choose a note to wait on, to sit on. You can do whatever you do, you should do it differently from the time before. Which we did that, so maybe now we do. That relates to this. And then everything's slowing down and getting softer towards the end. Make sure this F sharp here sounds in the thumb. So we have relating to there, slowing down, dying away. So the whole of the ending, which we can call the coda. Hands and pedal off together after a lot of time, keeping the audience on tenterhooks. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this tutorial, a performance, please do subscribe to my channel. There will be more videos coming, hopefully every other week. I want to post something and give a small talk about how to play it.